Hello, everyone. Hey, Mr. Eric Umiofia has gone global. I think I don't know whether I got that surname right. Honestly, even if I make mistake, I'm not even this thing. Umiofia, Eric Umiofia of Erisco Tomato has really gone global. He wanted to go global, you know. That's so he has gone the global. He has gotten the attention that he's looking for since he decided that he was going to be, you know, high-handed. He was going to come down on a customer who simply bought his product and reviewed his product, and that is it. For that, he said that he's going to, no matter what, if she's going to die, like he will help her to die. Even she's pregnant, there are people in the dust there, blah 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 blah. I'll look for that video and post it. And put it on for you. See the way it was da da da. If you were to do this, they will help her do that. Like, eh? Oga, wait. She bought your tomato. She didn't like the tomato. So, and she said she didn't like it. She said it's too sugary. Then you explain to her why you have too many sugar in your tomato, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H of it, and or else why you work past. No, he has to show his power, the business that he built. You think he's the only one that has built business. But anyway, he has gone global. CNN don't carry matter. So this is CNN World Report. It says a Nigerian woman who wrote an online review of a can of tomato puree is facing imprisonment after its manufacturer accused her of making a malicious allegation that damaged its business. Chioma Okoli, a 39-year-old entrepreneur from Lagos, is being prosecuted and sued in civil court for allegedly breaching the country's cybercrime laws. You see that cybercrime law, they've put it down just to have some powerful people to be able to trample on the rights of other people and use it to prosecute people anyhow. And say now, Nigeria has been dragged into this disrepute because they have one nonsense law that they put there for oppression and suppression of people's voices, people's rights and freedom to information. They've been talking about that cybercrime law for a very long time. But no wahala. Let me continue. In a case that has gripped the West African nation and sparked protests by locals who believe she is being persecuted for exercising her right to free speech. What did she say? Okoli, a small-scale importer of children's wear, told CNN that on September 17, she asked her 18,000 followers on Facebook to share their opinions about a tomato puree she bought in place of her usual brand, saying she found it too sweet. Her post, accompanied by a photo of an open can of Nagiko tomato mix produced by local company Erisco Foods Limited, sparked varied reactions from commentators, one of whom replied, "Stop spoiling my brother's product. If you don't like it, use another one, then bring it to social media or call the customer service." Okoli responded, "Help me advise your brother to stop KI-ing people with his product. Yesterday was my first time of using, and it's pure sugar." A week later, on September 24, she was arrested. In legal filings seen by CNN, the Nigerian police force alleged that, you see that Nigerian police force, there is always, Nigerian police force is so unfortunate, always allowing itself to be used by anybody that has power. In 2015, I said to the then IG of police force, when will Nigerian police realize that its allegiance is to Nigeria and the Nigerian people and not to politicians and whoever is president or whoever it is that have power to be able to use them? The Nigerian police, honestly, the day we are able to set a proper Nigerian police without the force, Nigerian police that really takes care of its constitutional duties seriously, then we'll begin to have a country that works for every one of us. Anyway, it continues, it says, in legal filings seen by CNN, the Nigerian police force alleged that Okoli used her Facebook account with the intention of instigating people against Erisco Food. How did the police know of this intention? Please let me know. How did they know? Adding in a statement on March 7 that it had unearthed compelling evidence against her for its preliminary investigation. According to the police, Okoli was charged with instigating Erisco Foods Limited, knowing the said information to be false under Section 24(1)(b) of Nigerian Cybercrime Prohibition Act. If found guilty, She could face up to 3 years in jail or a fine of 7 million naira, around $5,000, or both. Okoli was separately charged with conspiring with other individuals with the intention of instigating people against Erisco Foods Limited, which the charge sheet noted was punishable under Section 27(1)(b) of the same Act. She risks a 7-year sentence if convicted of this charge. CNN has reached out to Facebook for comment. Okoli is also being sued in a separate civil case brought by Erisco, which said in a statement issued on January 19 that it was defending its reputation after her comments, resulting in several suppliers deciding to dissociate themselves from us. The Lagos-based food company said it also suffered the loss of multiple credit lines and had therefore filed a civil lawsuit against Okoli that sought 5 billion naira, more than $3 million in damages. This case is due to be heard on May 20th, her lawyer Inibehe Effiong told CNN. A spokesman for Erisco Foods, Nnamdi Nwokolo, told CNN the company would not speak further on the case because it is pending in court of competent jurisdiction. Public apology required. Okoli, who is currently pregnant with her 4th child, told CNN she was arrested by plainclothes police while she was in church in Lagos and detained in a leaky police cell. I was put in the cell around 6 p.m. on September 24th. There were no seats, so I stood all through till the next day. My legs were inside the water that came in from the leaky roof. Wow. Sometimes I squatted to reduce the pressure on my legs. I was thinking about my children who were at home. I was talking to myself. I would think I would pray. I was messed up, she said. The following day, Okoli was flown to the Nigerian capital, Abuja, and held at a police station until her release on administrative bail was finalized a day later, she said. Agreeing to apologize publicly to Erisco was a condition of her release on bail, she said. But her lawyer, Effiong, told CNN she agreed to this under duress and therefore did not apologize after her release. The police filed their case against Okoli in an Abuja court on October 5th. The first court hearing took place on December 7. She was represented by her lawyer, but she did not attend in person. Okoli told CNN that a month later, on January 9, police entered her Lagos home and attempted to arrest her despite a restraining order issued by a court on November 8, barring her arrest without a court order. CNN has seen a copy of the restraining order. They stayed in my building from 6:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. That's 11 hours. My children couldn't go to school that day and we couldn't go out to get food because the cooking gas was finished. She said eventually the police left. National Police spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi told CNN he could not comment on the case as the matter was in court. We'll comment on the case when the court decides. Anyway, it's really such a long read, and I don't want this thing to be too long. We're already at 8 minutes. But it's almost, let me just finish it up because it's almost, I said, Effiong told CNN that Okoli's legal team was not gearing up for the 2 legal cases which he described as a David versus Goliath battle. In this case, we believe that David is right and Goliath is wrong. In October, he filed a 500 million naira countersuit on behalf of Okoli against both Erisco and the police at a Lagos court, challenging her arrest and detention, which he said violated her constitutional rights to personal liberty and freedom of movement. In court papers relating to the countersuit, Effiong argued that his client's arrest was also a breach of her constitutional right to freedom of her expression. He said that he would also ask the Abuja court, where she is being tried for cybercrime violation, to transfer the case to Lagos, where she lives, at the next hearing set for April 18. Because this issue happened in Lagos. The company is in Lagos. They bought it in Lagos. Why are you bringing her to Abuja? Just because you want to suffer her, for her to now be looking for money that should be using to transport herself from Lagos all the way to Abuja. Hard to prove. Nigerian legal and public affairs analyst Kelechukwu Uzoka said to CNN that there are limits to the freedom of speech defense. No law guarantees absolute freedom, he said. While we have our freedom of expression, there are limitations. You can't defame or malign someone. Did she defame someone? Did she malign anyone? Don't she have a right to the opinion of the tomato paste she took? She said the tomato paste was too sugary for her. She didn't say it was too sugary for me. That's her own opinion. That's what she tasted. The product is in the market. It's a public product. And she's a customer who bought it. And she tasted it and she said it's too sugary. However, I added that the cybercrime is difficult to prove in court. You have to prove actual harm when the post was made. Erisco must prove that the Facebook post by Okoli affected his business as at the point it was made. He noted that in Okoli's post, she used the word with 3 asterisks, which could be open to interpretation. Harassment and intimidation of Ochioma must now end now, Amnesty International Nigeria said earlier this month, as Nigerians began crowdfunding online to support her legal fees. Okoli's case has sparked protests at Erisco Lagos facility, as many on social media called for a boycott of his products. The company's founder, Eric Imiofia, refused to budge, however, saying in a recent documentary on the local Arise channel that he won't drop his lawsuit against Okoli and that he would rather die than allow someone to tarnish his image he worked for 50 years. If the image you work for 40 years, not 50. If the image you work for 40 years cannot stand the scrutiny of somebody tasting your product and saying it's too sugary, then I'm sorry. That's a useless image you've really worked on.